I always talk about going inward and knowing yourself more, because the more you know yourself, the more you understand the world. And the more you understand the world, the more success, fulfillment, happiness, and love you're going to feel. So, and I'm also big on, as you know with the video with my niece, I'm big on not spending money on anything that doesn't multiply it. So I called up Angela. I decided to work with Angela, and of course at a park. And she is going to, I just took an assessment, a DISC assessment. She has not read me her results or her work yet, so I don't even know what to expect right now. We decided to do this on camera because I believe in knowing yourself more, and I believe in this work. So I am here. I'm going to let Angela introduce herself and what she does, because of course she's going to be able to present herself better than I ever could. So Angela?
So I'm Angela, and what I do is I can do within 24 short questions, we can figure out your basic 4 personality styles and your exact blend. And that just means how you're wired. You get 2 graphs, how you're wired, we're going to talk about that today, and how you're interacting with your current environment, which changes. Your environment changes, we're built to adapt, but we also need to know how we're wired and how we were intended to interact with the world. So that's what I specialize in, is how were you meant to be, what is your path, what possibly is happening today to cause some stress. And if that's a growth area, then awesome. That means you're growing and stretching. If you weren't intending to grow there, then that would be an indicator that maybe you need to make some adjustments to have a more balanced and healthy and whole lifestyle.
I cannot wait. I don't even know the results she's going to give me. I just took the questionnaire, and she's barely going to read them to us now, so you're finding out with me.
Awesome. I'm so excited. I love this part. I love this part. So we're going to start with how you are wired, okay? Because that's the most important part, and then we'll talk about how you're currently interacting with your world, okay? So right now in this park, because of course it depends where you take it, and you know how you feel right in this moment too. Makes a difference there. But
does.
How you're wired is so interesting, because you are very close to what we call the midline. So do you see this, where it's divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basic segments, and you have in the middle is the average, and that is the most level, where all of them meet in the middle. There is an actual blend called a level blend, and those people are, we call those master negotiators or chameleons, and they can literally just adapt and be anything to anybody, whatever's needed in the moment. And you are very close to that in 3 out of 4 of your blends, so that's very exciting to me.
Interesting.
So that tells me that you know how to blend when you need to, but be bold when you need to. So it's very exciting.
That is exciting.
Yes. So of the 4 styles, your highest is the I, which is the inspiring or influencing style, which I knew that about you.
I know that about me too.
Yes, you're very influencing and inspiring.
Great.
Your secondary, very close second, is the D, which is dominant. Both of these traits are outgoing. So we would call you a double outgoing, which means you live your life, no shock, completely 100% out there for everybody to see, no holds barred, not worried about it. You're just like, you know what, I'm gonna jump and we'll figure it out later.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're definitely not cautious at all.
Yeah.
Yes. But in that average segment, we talked about the midline.
Yeah.
Anything that falls in that average segment, that means that you can call upon it to be high or low depending on the situation, and it doesn't wear you out. So when you walk into a room, if you're like, you know what, I need to call on this, you can pull it up and put it away just as quickly as you need it. It can stay with you all day, or you can tuck it away and never use it.
Wow.
And it doesn't wear you out to do that. Most people, if you have to pull something up because you go in a room, and we talked about not being into details, if you had to be detailed all day long, you would be exhausted by the end of the day.
Yeah.
But your S trait, which is supportive, and nurturing and caring and self-sacrificing,
Mhm.
that trait is in the midline,
Wow.
which means when you need to be, even though you're all out there for everybody to see at all times and very outgoing, you can sit back and be supportive
Mhm.
and let other people shine.
Yes.
And you're totally happy to do so, but
I am.
you're also totally comfortable to be all out there and in the spotlight and in the front.
Yep. That's totally sounds like me.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Awesome. So that's how you were wired to be.
Okay.
Okay, all out
And
there.
when you say wired, meaning brought to this earth to
Yeah.
demonstrate.
Yes, day one, breath one, as soon as your feet hit the pavement,
Okay.
this is who you were designed to be.
Okay.
You were not designed to be some shrinking violet in the corner and letting everyone else just tell you what's what and how to do everything.
Yeah.
You also weren't meant to sit in the corner and crunch numbers and file away things
Yeah.
and not talk to people.
Yeah.
In fact, you are very low on that scale with the
Okay.
cautious. You're in the very low segment. So the very worst thing that you could do to yourself is isolate from people.
I know I've experienced that, and it created a lot of, I didn't know that I was doing that, but it created a lot of depression, anxiety, fear, and pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I would have known this sooner, so I would have avoided all of that heartache that I went through.
Yeah. And the S though in you says, when you need to, you can get quiet, but that's just to replenish so you can leap again, not because you're like, please don't talk to me, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Where that high, people that are high C, they actually get depleted the more people interact with them.
Wow.
People drain them.
Wow.
They're thinkers. They need time to think and space to think. And,
Yeah.
and the more people try to engage with them, the more confused and cluttered their thought process gets.
Okay.
Where
Wow.
you probably walk around thinking very fluidly out loud, like to share your thoughts, love to brainstorm with people,
Mhm.
like, oh, I've got this idea, I'm going to pull together 3 friends and we're going to discuss it until I figure out what I want to do, and then we're just going to go do it.
Mhm.
So that's more your process.
Okay.
If you have to sit too long and think about something, call a friend, because
Okay.
you're going to think yourself into a hole,
Okay.
and that's not a good place for you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's how you're wired.
Okay.
So now your other graph tells how you're acting.
Oh.
So this is where it
Uh-oh.
gets really interesting. So,
Uh-oh.
so what I look for is you don't want to have a difference of more than 2 segments away. So if you compare like your D trait on your how you're wired versus how you're acting, you're in your high segment on how you're wired, and how you're acting is average, so that's fine. It's only 1 away. With your I, also 1 away, no problem. Your S is variable, so that's okay. This one can be anywhere and it's fine. Right now, it's down low, and that's okay. Probably because we're on camera and we're out here and you're just like out there wanting to know about yourself, so that's great. And plus the time of life you're in right now, you're probably all out there and doing things and adventure and exploring.
I'm out of my comfort zone every day.
Yes, so that would be why the S is down.
Okay.
And then your C, again, is only 1 step away. Then you're wired. So I would say you are firing on all cylinders, optimal performance. That is awesome.
That is exactly where I try to be. I
Yes.
actually, as you know, as everyone knows, I hope, is that I stand for authenticity. So that means be who you were meant to be who you were put on this earth to be, because it's the only way to self-fulfillment,
Yes.
and it's the only way you can love others around you. And so it sounds like I'm doing that. I'm
You
close.
are. You are right on. You are spot
Wow.
on.
Okay.
And
I
that's
mean,
awesome.
that gives me so much. Sometimes, even though we trust our opinion and trust our judgment, we sometimes need confirmation that we're on the right path. And so that's really good to know.
That's awesome. Most people are not. Most people have at least one area that I'm like, what's happening to cause this to be out of whack?
Okay.
And that's usually people who feel frustrated or feel burned out or feel like they just keep hitting their head against a wall and they don't quite know what to do, but they know something's wrong, but they can't tell you what it is.
Yes.
And just going through this exercise will bring that to light.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they can either decide that they need to improve that, or they need to partner with someone to have them help them through it.
And by so if you were to give me just one place to maybe perhaps focus on, or maybe just so I'm something that will lead me into more fulfillment or more of who I truly am, what can you recommend on that?
I would say surround yourself with positive people.
Okay, which I'm trying.
And listen to yourself. Listen to that inner voice.
Okay.
And try to quiet the world around you as much as possible.
And you know what's crazy is I know that, especially with my crazy ideas, I get it. And I was talking about this the other day too. Don't ask questions about your purpose. Don't ask questions to your loved ones about who you are. You know who you are.
Yes.
I know who I am. It's just about following it. So, and if I want to continue working with you, is that an option, or how does that work?
Absolutely. So next steps to this is I have a couple of other graphs that we go through.
Okay.
And we talk about, we can find your areas of strength, and it'll show your areas of growth. But then we discuss, do you need that area? Do you not need that area?
Okay.
Just because it's an area that you're not naturally strong at doesn't mean you really should invest in growing in that area. Because sometimes it's better to invest time in growing in your strengths and partnering in those areas that you necessarily don't need all the time to be the best you.
Yeah.
But when you do, it's great to have a friend or a partner who you can just say, hey, you know what? I need to borrow you for a week, a weekend, a day, or whatever it is, or a meeting. Can you sit in and be my ears and eyes and advise me because you trust them?
Yeah.
So that's another graph we do. The last one we do in this series is on conflict and how you move through conflict.
Okay,
and
that's
that gives
nice.
you some insight into knowing when you're stressed. And also we start talking about identifying other people in your life so that you can see who they are at their natural state and how they most likely move through their conflict. So for instance, I use this with my family, and I know my daughter's blend. So I can tell when one of her scores is higher than the other and it's on her conflict wheel, that when she moves into her secondary, then that's my red flag. Like, uh-oh, I need to handle this and address this before it hits her third one, because by then she can't hear me.
Okay, so it sounds like it would be good for people that might struggle with family situations.
Any relationship.
Okay.
Any relationship. Even if it's just yourself. I mean, if we don't get along with ourselves, you can't really get along with other people.
Yeah, absolutely. And we speak of that all the time. The most important relationship is with yourself. And you do corporate training with this, right?
We do. I do a corporate training, team training. We go to churches. We do individuals, families, couples.
And what's the best way I will put her contact info on the video, but what is the best way to reach you?
Usually Facebook
okay.
Or email is the best way.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the results on camera.
Yes,
and
thank you.
I hope you guys got great value out of this. I know I did. Bye.